Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, here we go again as Sosa is set for medical. Jota leaving Nottingham Forest already. Giménez destination set to be the Premier League, and Manchester United make contact over Danilo. All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. And just like the weather, it is red hot today. We got so much to update you on. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we may need to do yet another double episode today. So let's get to 600 likes. And then we'll get a second episode out for you. And don't forget as well, you can get discount on your tyres. If you're in the Nottinghamshire area, Lindley's have over 10 different locations all over the county. And they will give you £15 off 2 Falcon tyres if you're just looking for 2. If you're looking for the set of 4, they'll do a £40 deal. And all you have to do is jump on their website, lindleys.co.uk, chuck in the code LindleyFA23, and they'll even come out and do it at your place of work or at your home. Scan the QR code or click in the link that's pinned in the comments. Okay, let's jump into the news and let's start with Sosa. And what a saga. We got to change his name from Sosa to Saga, man. This one is as good as done, but I am not going to get ahead of myself on it. Let me give you the background story. So the clubs have been talking over the last day or so, and they've got through their impasse. Remember, the initial deal was set to be $15 million. What we know now is the deal is set to be $14 million. So just by guessing here, and I have no inside information on this, this may have been the sticking point initially that caused the whole explosion in this deal, because it was meant to be 15, and it looks like when Forest made their offer, they knocked off £1 million. Maybe they had a discount code, I don't know. But where we are now, and it was reported yesterday by John Percy, and what he said is that Forest are edging closer to signing Paraguayan international Ramón Sosa for around £11 million, which is the $14 million, after a breakthrough in talks with Tellez. Sosa set for medical this week if negotiations continue to progress. Newsno has also confirmed there's another striker on the list. We're coming on to that in a minute, I promise you that much. So this is good news, but it's knackering news, man. So even Percy isn't fully committing himself to it just yet. He's saying as long as the progression goes through, etc., all is set. Now, the story from the other side of the pond is they are backing this up and they are kind of saying this is done. He's on his way this week, gonna say his goodbyes, farewells, toodaloos and all that, and he is coming across to Nottingham. So I'm just, for me right now, sign him up. Let's move on and let's get him on the pitch and let's see how good he's going to be in the Premier League, because I am sick to death of this transfer fee. So that plane ride he was meant to take a Friday or so ago is now being rebooked for some time this week. We'll keep you posted when he lands. But get your thoughts in down below on Sosa. Do you want him now or not? Let me know. Now, with all this Sosa stuff, it links into this second story about Jota. Remember him? Our Portuguese Grealish? He might be leaving Nottingham Forest. There's been rumours circulating for about a week now to say that Forest will be loaning him out to Olympiacos. And this was actually mentioned in Percy's article yesterday. And I don't even want to give my initial response to when I read it, because it just blows your goddamn mind. Jota is a quality player, quality and good enough for the Premier League right now. And what the talk is that if Forest sign another winger, then Jota is going to be the sacrificial lamb to go away and play a year at Olympiacos. And realistically, how many times do we then see that player who's loaned out to Olympiacos come back to Forest and then start playing for us? Not that often. So I'm not happy with this one at all. Now, this could be linked with the Galeno story. Remember him, the Brazilian winger we told you about? And okay, if we get Galeno, I can see why Jota would be sacrificed. I'm kind of contradicting myself here a little bit. But I just want to know how the vision was sold to Jota. That's my concern here. Was he told when he signed, "Hi mate, you're signing for Forest. We really like you. You're the Grealish of Portugal. We're really keen on you. But by the way, if we can recruit 2 better wingers than you, we're just going to ship you out to Olympiacos because we ain't got no room for you here." And if that was the case, which obviously they wouldn't, I don't think they would have had that conversation, then you got to think Jota's pretty stupid to have agreed to that. I mean, his future's going to be uncertain for the next 3 weeks or so because the transfer window is still open. And that's not what we want in the squad, in the makeup, or what's currently being built at Forest. Everything has been going so nice, so smooth, so cohesively, that something like this just doesn't sit right with me, which makes me feel, and this is why I haven't brought it to you guys before, because it was rumors floating around. I still don't feel this is going to be the case. Even if we got another winger in, I am certain there is space for Jota in that squad, because Sosa is left side, Galeno's left side, Callum Hudson-Odoi is left sided. The only right side cover we currently have is Elanga. So just by the sheer, maths game here, that Jota has a potential spot, even if you think he's back up to Elanga. And on top of that, he can play as a false 9 because we still haven't got the striker through the door, which we hopefully will shortly. We'll talk about striker in just a second. So I'm rambling here, but it's because I'm annoyed at this report. And I want to say I don't really believe it. Logically, it doesn't make sense to me. But what do you guys think? Do you think he will still be at Forest come the 2nd of September? Or do you think he'll be with the Greeks? Let me know in the comments down below. Alrighty guys, let's move on and talk about the fun stuff, which is the strikers. And there's a lot to tell you about here. So we now know for sure that Nuno wants a striker. It's come out, it's public knowledge now that Forest have it on the shopping list. Rejoice everyone. But not only that, they've actively been putting bids in on striker. Evanilson from Porto, Forest have put a bid in for him a couple of days ago, and that's been rejected. Then Bournemouth have gone ahead and put in a bid for him, and that's been rejected as well. There are rumours that Forest will go back in on him, but those rumours are not very strong right now from the sources that I have seen. The one that seems to be the front runner right now is Santiago Giménez. Now, reports are coming out from Holland, or the Netherlands, I believe is the correct term to use. Holland is just 2 or 3 of the districts. Anyway, who cares, right? Is that Giménez will be leaving Feyenoord to go to the Premier League. And at the front of that queue right now is Nottingham Forest. And that's the main one that's being linked from their side. Now, it's always important when you're looking at player links, you're looking at it from this side of the pond and whatever side of the pond they're from as well, to see the types of reports you're getting. We know there is a lot of interest in him. We know Spurs wanted him in the last window. We know that Bournemouth are actively looking at him, Everton as well. But the strongest link right now is Nottingham Forest. And if you were a betting man, you would get quite low odds on him coming to Forest because it looks like he is the front runner. Now, what is Forest's strategy on this? Are they looking to recruit 1 new striker or 2 new strikers? Or knowing us, maybe 3? At the moment, it feels like it's going to be 1, and it's going to be our marquee signing of the season, with Giménez making a name for himself now. It's going to cost Forest a lot of money. We're probably talking north of, who knows, 30 million maybe as a package to get this done, or we may even break our transfer fee record with Sangare from last year. But the feeling for me is, and again, I don't know from anyone here, but this Giménez one feels more closer to me than Evanilson from Porto. This could all change, and this is why we may have to start doing double videos for you every day in the build-up now, as things are really starting to cook in the transfer window. So I feel right now that Forest are front runners for Giménez, And the expectation in general from the journalists, from the footballing world, is that Forest are going to put a second bid for him in the next couple of days. Maybe we try and get Sosa over the line, get that one finalized, and then focus on Giménez. But it looks to me like we're doing it as a double thing. So there's, the team's working on more things than one right now. So we'll keep you posted as soon as we hear about the second bid. But this one is starting to feel like it's closer, especially with the reports from the Netherlands saying destination is Premier League now for Giménez. All right, let's bring you up to speed with Danilo, as this is a fast moving one. Now, let me cast you back because everyone's playing catch up with FFTV right now. We told you about 4 or 5 days ago that Manchester United had shortlisted Danilo. And then we told you yesterday that AC Milan were good admirers of Danilo and were thinking about tabling a bid for him as well. And then now there have been further reports coming out from Brazil, and this is TNT Brazil that have reported it. Probably watching FFTV, but whatever. They are now saying that Danilo's camp, as in his entourage, as in probably his agent, have received inquiries from both Manchester United and AC Milan. And they are stating that Forest would be willing to do business for Danilo for 40 million euros, which is about 34-ish million pounds. Now, I don't think 34 will get it done. I think if it was 40 million pounds, that's probably more towards the fee that I think Forest would accept. However, it's come out that our mate Jack Talbot, who's probably going to be on the channel soon, another reporter, he's come out and said that you're way off the mark here to those reports. Not to us, to the reports. He's saying that Forest will be demanding nearly double that fee, so probably around 60 million. I've got to say, I think I disagree with him, but I understand his logic. Danilo is on a long-term contract with Forest. He signed 6.5 years. He's only, a year and a half into that, so he's got a long time left. So Forest are in no rush to sell him. They don't have to worry about PSR this season. They don't have to worry about an unhappy player. This is a player who's finding his feet still, let's be honest with it, in the Premier League, has bags of talent, bags of potential, and there's no rush in his development. So I get where Jack's coming from on this one, that it would need something big to come through. But if 40 million was put under Forest's nose, I think it's something that they would consider. I think 34 wouldn't be enough. And as we said in yesterday's video, if 2 clubs are now in for him, you got AC Milan and Manchester United, if there's a bidding war, this will just help increase his price. Now, personally, if Danilo's going to go to either of those clubs, I'd rather he went to AC Milan. I hate the idea of, I don't mind the idea of taking money from Manchester United, but I really would hate the idea of Danilo scoring some kind of winner in the last minute against Forest somewhere down the road. That I would not like at all. So if we're going to sell him, I prefer he would go to, abroad into Europe. But this one is picking up traction. As I said, people are now catching up with us on it. We can tell you there's been no official bid in for him from Forest. What's basically happened is they pick the phone up, they start having conversations, one with the agent, and then if they feel there's a sense there that the player might be interested, and then they're going to find out from the club what they want, etc. All the rules from back in the day are completely null and void to how transfers go down. So this one feels like it will gather more pace as well. As always, we'll keep you on top of it. And no doubt what you'll see happen is 1 or 2 other clubs will now get a little bit interested in Danilo. Once there's a sense of a player who may be on a couple of teams' radar, it usually attracts similar clubs. And this would only be good news for Forest if they decide they want to sell him at all. To get your thoughts in on Danilo, would you rather he went to AC Milan or Manchester United? Or like me, do you think we should still keep him for another year and watch his valuation grow? Let me know in the comments down below. And that brings you up to date with your latest Forest news, ladies and gents. If we get to 600, no doubt we'll put out another video for you. So make sure you've hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and go check out Lindley's, not just for the tyre offers, but they'll do your MOT, your car services, and everything else like that. The best auto service garage in Nottingham. Check them out, the link's in the comments. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.